Back. How are you? How is everyone? How has your weekend? How was your weekend? I've been watching the weather that's been going on up, down, around, through, over, and under, and sideways in various parts of the world. And oh my goodness, it's been a busy few days. It's a hell of a way to welcome in summer. People are getting snow and tornadoes and whatnot and hail. My God. The thing is, the thing is that this sort of ties in with the question I'm going to talk about today. And the first thing I want to do, though, is say I applaud you. I applaud every single one of you dealing with the sudden ups and downs and reversals that we seem to be uh, being handed these days with greater and greater frequency. It is alarming at times. It really is. And and if that's not enough, we then have people who aren't really with it, who aren't really on the ball and aren't really paying attention. So I just want to talk today about a couple of things that happened recently that made me realize, well, there's a theme. There's a thing to talk about. And I talk about things like the Witham song, "What's in it for me?" We all, whether we know it or not, whether we think about it or not, we're all basically judging every decision we make, every offer that's on offer. There's a little checkbox thing going on in the back of our minds. Is that, am I in it? Am I going to like it? Will it make me look fat sideways? I mean, all of those things are just kind of filtered through our decisions on how keen we are to get involved and or how keen we are to stay away. And I had this wonderful opportunity on the weekend to go and see a locally produced indie film that was exceptionally good, and therefore quite a delight because a really, really great friend of mine had a starring role in it. And my friend, Lawrence Edmonton, was phenomenal. And that is a lovely thing to witness and have him sitting beside me sitting beside him, watching the film. It was the first time he'd seen it with all of the layers, with the soundtrack, with the special effects, with the other scenes leading into and out of. Because when you shoot um, anything, basically you're only there for your stuff. Back in the days when I was in television, I was only there for my scenes. Unless my scene was coming next, in which case I would be ready and I'd be watching the preceding scene. But if I wasn't supposed to be there, I was invited to go and not necessarily go home, but I didn't have to be around. So, and a lot of the time, um, we make that decision not because we're not supporting the cast, but because there's only so much room for so many people. And so there we were, having a wonderful time watching the movie. Everybody was thrilled for their friends and their family who were involved. And as a partner in this industry, it is really exciting and really comforting and rewarding and encouraging to see other people taking these gigantic risks. I mean, it's their time, it's their money, it's their creativity that they put out on the line. And, it's a little bit, I often tell people that well, good morning, Charles. How nice to see you. I hope everything is safe where you are. My goodness, I was looking at the weather. Eek. Um, the amazing thing about being in this kind of creative industry, imagine if you had a baby and you held the baby up to the world and gave the world permission to tell you that the thumb should be attached to his nose and her left foot should be attached to her elbow, and what they really need is more hair or less. I mean, why on earth would we expose our personal creative exercises that we love and we feel very, very proud of and personally protective of? Why would we expose them to the outside world? What are we thinking? This is how much of a challenge show business is. So my hat certainly is off to everyone who got involved in that project. And it was amazing. So anyway, that's the lead up, right? Everybody's all, up. And we had planned that we were all going to go to a local pub afterwards to have a celebration, hold up a glass, cheer each other on, take pictures, and look all smiley and happy. And when we got to the pub, Lawrence and Carol Hay and I got there very early, dancing through the raindrops. And we were met with a waitress who said, "There's no reservation for this group." Okay, but there's 3 of us, and we'd like to sit over there, and it's a pub. It doesn't say, "Please wait to be seated." It's a pub, and it's a Saturday afternoon. It's not like, it was a dinner hour and you'd booked a party. So we said, "Oh, okay, well, we're just going to go over there." So we went over there, and increasingly, as the ripple effect happens, we heard her saying the same thing to everyone coming in. There was no reservation for this group. And she said it in that tone, aggrieved, annoyed, scolding us. So here's who us were. Us were, I don't know, 40 or 50 people who had just had a wonderful time. And we collectively had every intention of continuing that experience. We were there to have a wonderful time. And she was raining on our parade. It was raining outside, splotch, splotch. She was doing her best to rain on us inside. And the thing is, she's a waitress. They work for tips. They get a salary, but they work for tips. Do you think for a moment, that people were going to be saying, "Oh my God, thank you. You were so much fun. Here's some extra money"? No, they weren't. I didn't. First of all, I didn't go to her to get my drink. I went to the bar, and I said to the bartender, "Is there a problem?" And he said, "No, there's no problem." And so the eye roll was, this apparently is a common practice. Why would a person do that? You're in the service industry, the hospitality industry. People are there to have a good time. Why would you scold them when they come in? This is an exercise, clearly, in not reading the room, in imposing your mood on everyone. What a silly thing to do. And of course, we overrode her because we were all in such a great mood, and we were taking pictures, and we were laughing, and we were talking, and we were teasing each other. And it was a great time. And really, the only person she harmed was herself in the end, because we were on a roll. We were on a momentum. And we do this without thinking when we are in the middle of feeling aggrieved, or when we are in the middle of celebrating and we don't read the room. Every morning before I post things, I check the news feed. If I'm going to do something silly, if my intention is to do something silly, and it often is, the first thing I want to do is make sure that I'm not tone deaf, that I'm not coming in with this ridiculously inappropriate thing happening, in that I'm being funny when no one's laughing. I can't do that. That's just wrong. And if I'm in the business of communicating, I need to know who I'm communicating with and what their state of mind is. I need to be connected to them where they are. If each one of us brings that intention, I need to connect with you where you are. So, where are you? How are you? What's going on? What's happening with you? I've missed you. And these are important questions to ask, because it is how we read the room, and it is how we make a much better connection, and how people remember us. I'm in the middle of planning an event for this Sunday. It's the celebration of life for my friend. And I reached out to one of the people involved, and I said, I have this idea. And this person replied and said, you might want to rethink that for these reasons. And I found myself replying, yes, but, yes, but, yes, but. And then after I'd sent that, I thought, oh, look at you. You're about to talk about reading the room, and look at you. You're trying to impose something. And someone is saying, are you sure you want to do that? And so I sent another message back and I said, you're right. I will take that under advisement. Thank you. Because how easy is it for me to change, to not go with the flow, not give up what I want, but to do something that everyone says, oh, how wonderful. That's the end game. I want to give you an analogy. I used to use it with my clients all the time when I was talking about their books and when I was talking about their business, when I was talking about their enthusiasm in the birthing process. So here's the thing. When we eat and drink and sleep and breathe, our new thing, whatever it is, we've lost 10 pounds on a diet. We've invented something. We've joined one of those business groups and we only have to get 3 friends who get 3 friends. Whatever it is that we're all excited about, when we go to tell people, it's normal for us to rush in and say, look what I got. Look, yay. It's normal. It's also important, as I talk about in Market Centrics, to make sure it's not falling in a bad space on deaf ears. So here's the analogy I used to give. Imagine you have this amazing idea, right? It's amazing. Imagine you have incredible news. It's wonderful. It's something you've been waiting for. Imagine you have something profoundly important to share. And you rush over to someone's house and you knock on the door and you say, open up, open up, open up. I have to talk to you. So it could be good. It could be serious. It could be tragic, whatever it is. The point is that you're at 1,000% adrenaline. Imagine this. They open the door and they have this shocked look on their face. And you feel heat coming off them and you look down and their pants are on fire, literally flames. And you say, oh my God. And they say, I don't know what happened. My pants are on fire. It's really hot. You have 2 choices. In that moment, you have 2 choices. The first choice is to grab whatever you've got and do something to put out the flames. If there's a bush, roll them in it. If you have a sweater, roll them in it. If you have water standing by, douse them with it. You have that opportunity to step in and help them overcome whatever that is, or help them celebrate whatever that is. Imagine if you go with serious news, you open the door and the pants that are on fire is the news that they've just won $1 million. If you don't acknowledge where they are, you can't get that moment back, and they will never, ever forget it. Imagine you've got a new job. You've just published your book. You've lost 15 pounds. Imagine they open the door, their pants are on fire. And instead of the first thing, which is helping them, you say, oh my God, oh, that's a shame. Yeah. Listen, I got to tell you about this great thing. And you go, nanner, 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 nanner. They're going to say to you, what the hell are you talking? What are you doing? Look at me. If they don't actually say it, they're thinking it. If, on the other hand, you knock on the door and you say, open up, I have tremendous news. I have amazing news. And they open the door and there they are in flames. And you say, oh my God, my news can wait. And you jump to help them deal with their thing. When the crisis dies down, the first thing they're going to say is, oh my God, you're amazing. I can't thank you enough. Listen, I need to say, I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. What were you going to tell me? Now, in each of those possible scenarios, which one do you think is going to turn out for the best for you, for both of you? The one where you selfishly ignore and override what's going on with them? The one where you don't listen? Or the one where you say, this can wait? Let me help you. Which one do you think? If that waitress had realized what was going on, the pub was right across the street from the movie theater. There are people lined up outside before the event. It's 2 hours later. People coming into the pub would have been talking about the lineup across the street. She ignored it. She wasn't paying attention. Or if she did know, she set it aside. And when we all walked in, she could have said, "So, I hear there was a film premiere. Who's the star?" As it happened, the first people who walked in were us, and the star was right beside me. That could have changed everything for her. We would have asked her name. She would have been part of it. We would have her take her picture with us. We would have included her in our celebration. Who stopped that from happening? Her. Why? Don't care. Maybe it was important. Maybe she brought to work her problems. Maybe the problems emerged at work. That's what the later folder's for. If you're not going to be present in the moment for the moment, why bother even being there? It's my shift. I couldn't get someone to replace me. Okay, then, suck it up. Suck it up. Lean in. Give it your best. You know that whole thing about whistle while you work? The more you lean in, the quicker you realize there are more things to think about. People have commented, recently, now that I've come back to Ottawa, that I have a sunny disposition. They'd forgotten a little, maybe. They've commented that I'm upbeat, that I'm positive, that I'm eager about my todays. And I'm really, really proud of, fond of, connected with my yesterdays. And I'm eagerly leaning in to my tomorrows. And I'm never not that way. And they've commented, especially when they know what the last 10 months has been like. And they say, how do you do that? And I say, my friend was not someone who wanted to dwell in a place of unhappiness. My friend was proud of being part of things that turned out well. Great pride in work done well, in showing up, in making a difference. That was a big thing for my friend. Can I do that in my new space with my forever friends here if the only thing I talk about is my thing? No. That is also reading the room. Every time I show up, I want to show up with them, for them. If they ask, so tell me, how are you? What happened? I do. But I also want to know, so what's going on with you? And I also want them to understand that I'm here to be part of people waking up in the morning and saying, I'm looking forward to this. I don't want to be the catalyst for I'm dreading this. I want us all to celebrate how fabulously blessed we are. I know that sounds very woo-woo, but the point is this. If we're going to get in the boat, if we're going to try out to qualify to be there, who does it serve to sit there slumped over? Is it not smarter, wiser, and more beneficial to say, all right, I'm here, I made it, let's do this? How far away is Paris? It's Fashion Week in a week. I even brought my feather boa. Doesn't that make a lot more sense? Logically, pragmatically, efficiently? And on top of that, it's more fun. So that's the theme today. Reading the room instead of going in blindly unthinking. I'd love to hear how that works out for you now that it's on your radar. Billy has suggested that I say, please do this and please do that and please do the other thing at the end of the video. And I have replied, I prefer this to be more sincere. I know that you're watching and thinking about these things that I'm doing and saying. I see the numbers, and I'm very grateful. Not for the numbers, but for your decision to set aside your other things and join me and say to yourself, I wonder what she's up to today. To me, that's the genuine, real value in our friendship. And I am so grateful every day. So, you know the drill. Be good to you. You deserve it. Read the room. They deserve it too. And remember to hug your loved ones. And I will see you on Thursday. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye for now.